Episode 71 turned out to be crazy. And as always, we have a lot of questions about this episode. And we are also all interested in what will happen in episode 72, which should be released soon. And in this video, elite cameraman Moby and I will talk about the plot of episode 72 and about some important details that were in episode 71. The video will be very important because you will see the crazy details that we were able to notice. But before we get into all this, don't forget to join my Discord as I have the latest news about the Skibidi toilet. Hello friends, you're on the Dattebayo channel. Subscribe to the channel and press the like button under the video to speed up the release of the next video. And let's go. In fact, several important events happened in episode 71. And one of them is the appearance of the Astro Toilet at the end of episode, and he clearly didn't know what was happening here. And in general, now we don't know what is happening between Astro Toilets and ordinary toilets, but we'll talk about all this a little later, and now we'll move on to a very important question, because we all saw a strange box that the toilets took somewhere. And I'm sure that there is something very important, but what do you think about it, guys?
I honestly don't know. And if we didn't know the timeline of the events that were happening, I would have said it might have been the stuff from the room we saw in episode 70, part 2, but that's literally logically impossible. The few ideas that comes to my mind are, it might be the OG Skibidi toilet, or something that's related to the secret agent or some new toilet that they have been working on for a while, or an even crazier idea, the real body of G-Man toilet.
Bruh.
Who knows, maybe even the G-Man we keep seeing is a robotic body.
Yeah, your theory is good. And it's possible that this is a robot and the real body of Gmail is in this box. Because I already mentioned that in the movies they usually transport some kind of monsters and mummies in such boxes. But at the same time it seems to me that there were too many fakes and maybe he is real. But let's listen to what Moby has to say.
There are many theories about this question, but the main thing is that this container contains something very valuable for the Skibidi toilet race and is quite heavy, because this cargo is carried by 2 toilets. Perhaps there is something in there that will make an Astro Toilet out of a regular Skibidi toilet, but that's just my theory.
In this box, there may be absolutely everything. And perhaps your theories are true, but imagine if the Skibidi scientist who was in the 70th episode is not real but another fake. And perhaps it was his real body that were taken from this bunker. And we also saw that Gmail didn't show no emotions about the fact that the Skibidi scientist died, and he behaved quite calmly, although he knows that the Titans and possibly the Astro Toilets are hunting for him. Because from what we saw, it is not clear whether the Astro Toilets are hunting for Gmail or not. Also in this container may contain a new weapon or a new type of Skibidi toilet that the scientist has been working on all this time. And perhaps this new type of toilet will be stronger than even Astro Toilets. And now the Astro Toilet knows about this, and he is trying to destroy what is inside the container or use it for his own purposes. Or there were agent technologies that we didn't see in this room, because from the inscription on the floor we learned that this is storage area 2. And this means that there is another such room or several such rooms with agent technologies. And if this is true, then believe me that there will be such technologies from which we will be shocked. And in comparison with them, these books will be worthless. Or perhaps the Skibidi scientist made a hybrid from several agents and toilets. And it is in this container that the body of this mutant is stored. Of course, this sounds like a fairy tale. But do you remember how many of my theories came true? Anyways, probably Boom will soon show us what was there and it will be a crazy plot twist. But if the scientist really died, then what will happen to Gmail and what is his plan?
Most likely G-Toilet's plan was to become the only major toilet among the Skibidi toilet race, and most likely after the events that took place in Season 23. He will want to make contact with the Astro Toilet race, and perhaps at first they will refuse to accept them, and then the Titan G-Toilet will present them with what is in that secret container.
By the way, this sounds plausible. But what do you think, Elite?
In my personal opinion, G-Man didn't like what Scientist Toilet was doing with cloning him and making G-Man clones. I think with his ego, he wants to be the leader and will probably try and take the lead. But we all know that he used to be kinda dumb, so hopefully his IQ is higher these days. From what it looked like, they already have a different base and they probably went to relocate. I got a feeling that we might not see him for a while.
And your theories also sound plausible, and I'm sure that they have another base. And perhaps this base was not the most important, and the toilets deliberately thought of all this to confuse the agents. And I'm also sure that Gmail always wanted to be the main one, but since he is a little dump, the main one was a Skibidi scientist. And we were simply shown that Gmail was the main one, although this was not true. But in fact, we cannot say for sure because perhaps we are only seeing the tip of the iceberg, and in fact, everything is more confusing. Perhaps it was all set up by a secret agent, and now he is trying to correct his mistakes and kill all the toilets. But the situation got out of control and Astro Toilets appeared. And now the secret agent cannot cope alone and he needs the help of agents. But still, these are only theories. And the most important fact that we don't know who is behind all this and who created these toilets. But at the end of the episode, we saw Astro Toilet that was late to the most interesting events. And I don't understand what he was doing here. And it looks like he didn't know what was happening here. And he was chasing Gmail to take what was inside the box. Or he was on the side of the toilets and he just made sure that there was no survivors.
I assume that the Astro Toilet we saw at the end of the episode was some sort of scout, and it seemed to me that he was very frightened by what G-Toilet had set up here. I guess he didn't expect Jimmy to be so cold-blooded and violent.
I think he knew everything that's going on because for a while, we have known that they were spying on the battle. He most likely looked around to see if there were any remaining Alliance agents. And I did talk about this in my own analysis video. But the Astro Toilets actually never did anything against the original G-Man toilet. They tried to kill the clone version. This makes me think that G-Man could have been the ones that ordered the Astro Toilets to kill the clones, because if he agreed with the Scientist toilet, why would he escape right before Scientist was about to begin his biggest battle? I think there is a very likely chance that they might be working together.
For me personally, not everything is as clear as you guys say. We don't know what's going on between Astro Toilet and Gmail. But I was thinking, what's the point of Astro Toilet checking whether someone survived or not? Of course, we can say that he didn't want the agents to know about this cargo. But at the same time, the Astro Toilets are always watching the agents, and they must know that all agents are connected, and there are always 1 or 2 POV cameramen. And if one dies, the second one will know about what the deceased cameraman saw. And there is no point in the actions of the Astro Toilet. And it seems to me that the Astro Toilet is hunting for this cargo, and Gmail is trying to hide it from him. And we all know that Gmail is dumb, but if you look at him from the other side, you will notice that he ran away from danger for a reason, and he always knows when to fight and when to run away. And in episode 47, we saw that he did not run away, but started a fight because he knew that together with Speakerman and Toilets, he can win. And although he almost died then, he won this fight. And after that fight, he realized that the Titans were quite strong and could kill him. And in danger, he began to run away because he values his life, and I won't say that this is a stupid act. And on the contrary, this is a wise decision because all the other toilets are simply going to their deaths because they are stupid, but perhaps G-Man is not like them. And I will tell you even more, what if G-Man initially planned all this? He knew that agents would come and kill the scientist, and already in episode 69, we can be sure that he knew everything. And even then, he gathered all the toilets and told them to take all the important stuff and take it to another place. And most likely this is true because these are iron facts. And in episode 69, the agents had not yet reached the scientist, but G-Man was already about to leave this base. And based on this, Gmail turns out to be not so dumb. And if we take this theory as truth, then it's all about this contract, on which we see the scientist and Astro Toilet. And I think that they made a deal for what was stored in this box, but after the death of the scientist, Gmail does not want to give it to the Astro Toilets, and now the Astro Toilets are hunting for it. But the Gmail must understand that sooner or later, he will have to face the Astro Toilet in battle. But he still took this cargo. And this means that there is something that can make Gmail stronger even than the Astro Toilet. And if you think about it, it makes sense. But if the Astro Toilet can catch him before the toilets get to their base, then this will be the end for G-Man. And I have already said many times that we should say goodbye to him since now the era of Astro Toilets begins and the series is in for big changes. But at his peak, Gmail will be able to surprise us. Anyways, these are just theories.
I think that in the next episode we'll get to know more about Astro Toilets as characters and what if it turns out that they are not enemies at all. I think you're surprised by that now, and if you're really interested, then expect a new video with theories about the next 72 episodes on my channel.
I honestly have zero clue on what will happen next episode. My outlandish guess would be that we'd see something happening in the cameraman base, or see the new upgraded reinforcement agents going and helping agents that were deployed long ago. The Titans also needs to fixes and upgrades, so the next episode really will be like a fresh start for the Alliance. About when it could be released, Boom said that the schedule will be better from episode 70 and onwards, so hopefully 1 video a week? We can only hope.
Yeah, we can only hope that new episode will be released every week. But about what will happen in the new episode, I have 3 options. The first option is that we will see the base of toilets to which Gmail flew, and perhaps we will see the cargo that was in this box. And at this moment, that we will understand what we should expect next. The second option is that we can see the base of Astro Toilets or the leader of Astro Toilets, but this will be if the Astro Toilet really hunting Gmail, and if he fails to catch him, he will report to his leader about his failure at his base, but this is the most unlikely option. And the third option is that we will see the agent base that we saw in episode 70, and we will also find out why the cameraman detective is here. And for me, this is the most likely option of episode 72. Because the last episodes were crazy. And there were battles in each episode, and now there will be a reboot in the form of a chill episode where we will learn more about the plans of the Alliance and toilets. And I hope that the next episode will come out in 6 or 7 days from the release of episode 71. And if some news appears, I will definitely make a video about it. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and the guys' channels. And also make sure to smash that like button if you liked the analysis, because we tried very hard on this video. And you are on the Dattebayo channel, and see you.